What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's prediction video. Now this will be the sister video to our Euro 2024 final video, and for this one we will be focusing on the Copa America 2024 final, which is taking place in the United States on the 15th of July for those of us on the African continent. So it will be very early on Monday morning. The finalists for this one: Leo Messi's Argentina go head to head with James Rodriguez's Colombia. We start off our team analysis with Argentina. The last 5 fixtures for La Albiceleste have ended in 5 wins. Their last match was a 2-0 win over Canada in the semi-finals. In these last 5 fixtures, Argentina have scored 8 goals and conceded just 1. The first player I'd like to talk about for Argentina has got to be goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. Now, those of you who watch the English Premier League will be familiar with Martinez as he plies his trade in the English Premier League for Aston Villa. In 5 appearances in this tournament, Martinez has kept 4 clean sheets and conceded just that 1 goal. In Martinez, I think Argentina have a goalkeeper who is very effective at playing mind games. We saw him do this in the World Cup in 2022 in Qatar, and it's something that he's very good at doing for Aston Villa as well. Martinez is quick, he's intelligent, he's a decisive goalkeeper. Perhaps doesn't have the leadership qualities that you see in other goalkeepers, but in Martinez, I know Argentina feel that they have a very solid, very stable, and very reliable goalkeeper. Next up, I want to talk Argentina centre forward Lautaro Martinez. In 5 appearances in this tournament, Lautaro Martinez has scored 4 goals. Martinez has learned from his errors in Qatar in 2022 with Argentina, and he's looking like an exceptionally lethal striker right now. Alongside his strike partner, whoever it may be, Martinez has learned that if he goes forward, he needs to find space where the ball can be played through to him, or if he operates as the support striker, he needs to be more aware of what's happening around him. And I think Lautaro Martinez has really learned to round off his game with teamwork. Finishing has never been an issue for him when he's played for his club side of Inter Milan, but his teamwork perhaps has struggled. He's only been able to strike up chemistry with certain types of players, but he's learned to work on that. And now when we look at Lautaro Martinez, we look at probably the perfect number 9. And finally, I want to talk Argentina's captain, Leo Messi. In 4 appearances, Messi's been perhaps below par for his stellar standards. Just 1 goal and 1 assist for Argentina's captain. But in Messi, Argentina have a player who can change the fate of an entire team just by being on the pitch. He attracts attention from opposition defenders who then will veer towards him, creating spaces for others. If they don't give him special attention, Messi will just dribble through you and score. He'll take long shots and score. He'll dribble through you and create opportunities for others. Messi's the kind of player who, whenever the ball is at his feet, you know he's thinking 2 moves ahead of everybody else on the pitch. His awareness, his passing range, his accuracy, his technique are just out of this world. And if we can look at a player who has 2 goal contributions in 4 matches, that is a goal contribution every second match, and we can say that this is below par, I think that really just is a testament to the exceptionally high standards that Leo Messi has set for himself. When we look at Colombia, the last 5 fixtures for Colombia have ended in 4 wins and 1 draw. Their last match was a 1-0 win against favourites Uruguay in the semi-final. In these last 5 matches, Colombia have scored 12 goals and conceded just 2. So it's fluid, it's attacking, it's effective football from Colombia. The first player I'd like to talk about for Colombia has got to be Liverpool winger Luis Diaz. In 5 appearances for his national team, Luis Diaz has scored 2 goals. In Luis Diaz, I think Colombia have a very dynamic, very attacking-minded winger. Luis Diaz is a player who's not afraid to go out wide and get crosses in. He's not afraid to cut in and take shots. He's very flexible in his game plan, and he's also very flexible in how he can take the game on. He can play as a center forward, he can play as a winger, he can play as an attacking midfielder. Luis Diaz is the kind of player who, if he's not given special attention, he will punish you. Next up, I want to talk the man who I think has been very impressive for me in this tournament, in John Cordoba. Now, John Cordoba plays for Krasnodar in Russia, so he's fairly off the radar for everybody looking into this match. But in these 5 appearances in this tournament, Cordoba has scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists. This is a player who knows how to score goals. He knows how to create chances for others. He's creative, he's decisive, he's effective, he's direct. That is exactly what Colombia needed. Colombia have been known to have great center forwards, players who can really take the game to the opposition, players like Falcao. And I think in Cordoba, they have a player who, like Falcao, can score goals, but he can also create chances for others. Speaking of creating chances for others, the next player I'd like to talk about is the player who I think has been Colombia's best player in this tournament and possibly the best player in this tournament overall, in James Rodriguez. In 5 appearances, James Rodriguez has scored 1 goal and provided 6 assists. James Rodriguez is a flexible player as well. He can play out on your right wing, being a left-footed player. He wants to cut in and take shots, but he can also pick players out with long passes and crosses with great accuracy. However, I think when you employ James Rodriguez in that number 10 role, just behind a striker, that is where he thrives. That is where he's getting majority of his assists. It allows him to dictate play from that hole between the opposition midfield and their defense, and it gives him the freedom and the space to just move the ball wherever he feels he needs to, either out wide to the wingers like Luis Diaz or centrally to a center forward like John Cordoba. When we look at the head-to-head between these two South American juggernauts, we see that the last 5 fixtures between Argentina and Colombia have ended in 2 wins for Argentina, 1 win for Colombia, and then 2 draws between the 2 sides. So automatically we think that Argentina are favored in this one. But in those last 5 fixtures, Argentina have scored 4 goals, while Colombia have scored 5. So in terms of getting goals, it's more likely that Colombia will be scoring here. When we look at their run of form coming into this match as well, Colombia have been far more free scoring. They're getting almost 1.5 times the amount of goals that Argentina are getting in this tournament. Fair enough, they've conceded 1 more, but it's 2. So it's not really that much in the first place. When we look at Argentina, they're functional and they're effective. Right now, the result is all that matters for Lionel Scaloni's team. Leo Messi no longer feels the pressure of performing individually and taking a game on by himself. He now knows he has a strike partner in Lautaro Martinez, who's reliable, who is a great goal scorer, who can get into good goal scoring situations. In previous tournaments, we've seen him struggle with players like Tevez, Higuain, and even Kun Aguero. But with Lautaro Martinez, I think we're starting to see some great chemistry built between him and Leo Messi up front. I think when we look at this Argentina team, a lot of the star players like Messi and Di Maria are starting to age out, and they're looking to pass the baton to the next generation of superstars. Players like Lautaro Martinez and Julian Alvarez from Manchester City as well. When we look at Colombia, this is a team where I think they've received the torch from an outgoing side, and they're now performing at the level that was expected of them. Players like John Cordoba, like Luis Diaz, perhaps James Rodriguez still being the veteran and the elder statesman in the team, but that's not saying much considering he's just in his early 30s. James Rodriguez is a player who can really turn a game on its head. I think for me personally, he's definitely a top contender for being the best player in this tournament. With Colombia, they also play functional football, but it's more fluid, it's more direct, it's more aggressive than Argentina's. Perhaps teams have just started to predict what Argentina are trying to do, and as a result have learned how to deal with them better. But with Colombia, it's unpredictable. It can switch from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. I think a major advantage that Colombia have in this match as well is there's many unknown players in this team. A lot of the squad is built of players who are not playing at Europe's highest levels, perhaps. And it's created a situation where other teams come into matches against Colombia and underestimate them. Everybody is humble enough to understand they're not the superstar here. With Argentina, I think they do have superstars, but nobody's ego is inflated to the point where they feel like they need to be the focal point. Players like Messi and Di Maria understand that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. As long as Argentina wins, that's all that matters. In terms of approaching the game, Argentina will usually go into their matches with a 4-4-2, with Messi partnering Lautaro up front in a strike duo. They can play in a 4-3-3 when Messi's not in the team, so we can see that the team is still built around Leo Messi and his qualities and what he can bring to the side. For Colombia, I think they can play also in a 4-3-3 and push James Rodriguez out wide to that right wing, but they perform best when they go out in a 4-2-3-1 with James Rodriguez in that number 10 playmaker role behind the striker and in between two wingers. However, I think when we look at these two sides, it's going to come down to Argentina just trying to do what they do best, getting goals, getting results, and Colombia perhaps overexerting themselves trying to get a goal. And I think that's where Argentina can punish them. They have players who can break down opposition attacks like Rodrigo de Paul in the midfield. They have players who can cycle the ball through the midfield quickly like Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister. And I think the big names for Argentina here will just end up seeing them over the finish line. I think Argentina, simply based on star power, slightly outclass a Colombian side that is based more on efficiency, tactics, and working as a unit. I think my final scoreline here is going to be Argentina 2, Colombia 0. I think this Argentina side is inspired and motivated by just having Messi in their team. I think these players don't necessarily need Messi to score hat-tricks for them to win, because they just want to give more to this player who served as a kind of hero for many of them growing up. They look at him and they think he's given so much to this team, and it's about time the team started giving a little bit back to Leo Messi. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time. And the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.